A fiery debate erupts in the GBNews studio over the government's faltering deportation strategy. The panel slams what they call a backwards approach, appeasing Pakistan, while known grooming gang offenders remain on British soil. Frustration boils over as calls intensify for urgent and decisive deportation action. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more hard-hitting political debate.
It's absolutely ridiculous. As I've said many times on this sofa, all of these Pakistani grooming gang criminals should be deported straight away. It's not a negotiating issue. These people have come to our country, they've abused our girls. I think one of those grooming gangs men had a child with a 13-year-old. They are criminals. They should be deported, and if necessary, we fly a plane with a parachute and out they go. Simple as that. Nothing to do with negotiating.
Well, Sean, your views.
Let's be clear, they're two separate incidences. It doesn't matter if they take these men back or not. As to why we let those planes come here or not. If the airline doesn't work, the planes don't come here. We shouldn't even be using the word negotiation. They're two separate matters. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. We give Pakistan huge amounts of aid, huge amounts of diplomatic resource and visas. All three of those things would stop until we sign some kind of document that says you take back not only the grooming gangs, but anybody else that we decide needs to go back to Pakistan. This isn't about grooming gangs. It isn't about race. It isn't about an airplane. It's about respect. This country will continue to be taken for a soft ride if everything we achieve is through a negotiation. This is not a negotiation. This is a demand. This is an instruction, and that's all it should have been.
Yeah, Matthew, so a member of the Pakistani government is reported to have had a conversation with David Lammy and certain members of the Labour government talking about, well, if we have the airlines that are allowed back, that could pave the way for a conversation about the return of paedophiles and rape gangs as well. So, sorry, why didn't Labour just say, hang on a minute, OK, so your airline's been cleared to fly here now, so apparently no longer is it the case that a third of your pilots are fake, right? So you can fly in and out of England now, but we'll only let you do that if you take people like this back.
Well, I don't think the two should be linked. I think we should be putting pressure on Pakistan to take back people. Let's remember that a lot of the people in the grooming gang scandal are of Pakistani heritage, but are actually British citizens born here, etc. There are some who were either are or were dual nationals. I think in the case of some of the chaps you mentioned, they conveniently disposed of their second passport before they could be deported, and that's where the issue comes from, because we'd effectively make them stateless if we took their passports away. But I agree with you, Sean. I think we should be using every lever we've got, and it seems to me the biggest lever we've got isn't the Pakistan International Airlines. If it has changed, if it is safe to fly here, then it should be treated like everybody else. I don't think at the moment they've actually been given the right. They've been told that they can start it's not quite at the stage of their planes landing. I think it's at the stage of we think you've made improvements. Now you need to secure detailed slots. But what we need to do is use every lever, including, as Sean says, aid and visas, to get those people who shouldn't be in this country out of this country.
It just feels like a slap in the face for a lot of the victims and survivors, though.
There's a big legal issue here. Our judges should not be allowing these Pakistani men to use renouncing their Pakistani citizenship as a way to make themselves stateless.
Yeah, he's built a home, by the way. He's built a home.
Where there's a will, there's a way. If those documents ever existed, they could be made to exist again. And I would simply say to the Pakistani authorities, you provide me with these details, and I will continue to provide.
Sean,
and I think in one instance,
but it's simpler than that, Sean.
With aid.
It's simpler than that. To renounce your citizenship in this country, the Home Office actually has to register it. Well, of course they shouldn't be registering it if it's a criminal. This goes back to the fundamental principle. When you go to court and you're asking for relief, which is what this criminal was doing, you have to go with clean hands. These hands could not be dirtier.
I mean, I think it's a major win. So I'll put this to you. It is a big win for the Pakistani government, and it to have this airline, landing back in
potentially, it's not a fixture.
Potentially, but almost definitely. Right, landing back in Britain. They are treating it as a victory. They're very happy about it. Why are we letting them claim any kind of victory whilst they're still refusing to take some of these people back?
Well, I think we should certainly hold, we're moving in the right direction. Certainly before a single Pakistan Airlines plane lands, I think we should be playing hardball with the Pakistan government. I think what's particularly scandalous in this is that my understanding is that one or two of these people have been back to Pakistan on holiday with their British passport and keep coming backwards and forwards. Yeah. So clearly it's not a sustainable situation. We agree.
Keir Starmer such a useless negotiator, Matthew?
Well, I don't think that this isn't really a kind of government level negotiation.
He's giving away things all the time.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point. It's not about good or bad negotiations. It's about when to negotiate and when to issue an instruction.
And what to use.
This is instruction territory. I wouldn't have had a negotiation.
All right. Sorry, guys. We're going to have to, because we took